Hey everybody, welcome. It is a new week and I have a new microphone. And this is the first stream with the new mic. I changed it after actually recording today's show, and I'm going to need your help in figuring out which elements of audio processing might need to be modified. But so far in some tests we did, it's actually sounding pretty good. So I think we're in pretty good shape. It feels very different. It's much more minimal from the standpoint of a pop filter. Actually, I can't reach the old mic, so we'll see. But it's been highly recommended, and I've been told that exactly for the harshness that I want to eliminate the elements of harshness from my EVRE20, I've been told this could be the mic for me. So a few other changes I made for people who care. We're doing a little bit less gate. And I've also, one of the principles I was given early in audio engineering, which I know very little about, is you want to boost the earliest you can in the audio chain rather than later. So as an example, my voice processor had a fair bit of output gain. And from some of the research I did, the S is sharp. Yeah, see, I have to. That's interesting. It's very interesting you mentioned that, because I actually thought that I needed a slightly different. Tell me if this is any better. Steven sucks. Is that any better to the S's? Anything better? Well, I didn't change anything. People said it sounded good before I changed anything. Yeah, it's probably not easy to do this, with a slight delay and all of that stuff. In any case, I'm going to move off of this topic because I'm realizing with the delay, it doesn't even make any sense to do it this way. But, if actual audio engineers have any specific comments, then by all means, let me know. The signal flow is Shure SM7B into Cloud Lifter, into DBX voice processor, into Mackie. Okay, so that's what, somebody's saying that it's worse. You know what? I'm just actually going to go. I'm going to keep this the way it was and then just listen to it myself. It doesn't really make sense to take advice on stream in this way. Okay. It's raspy or more crisp. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, why on earth would I be asking a live stream? So the audio, the volume level, that is certainly a concern because I am boosting less. So that's actually good. I'm going to do a slight tweak. Testing, 1, 2. That's getting me more to the level where I was before. So in any case, we'll be monitoring and doing all sorts of different things. So that's going on. Now, beyond that, we have so many things to go over with you today. We already have a hype train leaving the station on Twitch. I have 6 super chats to talk about. And we are going to hear from Donald Trump in North Carolina just momentarily here. Where do I want to start? So, unfortunately, it appears as though the Trump administration may be starting to lie, just straight up lie about the number of cases. And I hate that this is the case, but let me see if I can actually pull up these graphics to show you. I'm going to be going over this in detail on tomorrow's program, but I'll just give you a little bit of a preview. Let me see if I can find it here. So, this very strange thing happened. Let's see if I can show you this properly. The day that hospitals were told no longer send your data to the CDC, but instead send it to HHS, that was July 15th, 16th. The day that happened, lo and behold, the 7-day moving average completely flattened out. That's weird. And Jeff Hester, who has a small YouTube channel, he's an astrophysicist. He did a really good analysis of this. And he actually said, well, hold on a second. Let's look at red states versus blue states. And when you do that, you notice, let me pull up my next element here. When you do that, you see that on July 16th, which is the day that reporting stopped going to the CDC and started going to HHS, that day, the blue states won by Hillary, nothing changed. There was a slight uptick in cases in blue states. But in red states, the day that the reporting changed, the cases started going down, okay? To understand how unlikely this is, first of all, there's the sniff test. The sniff test is, did anything change in red states such that we would expect this? And the answer is no. Number two, if things had changed, it takes, 10 to 20 days to see the changes. Meaning the real question is, did anything change in red states towards the end of June that would explain this? And the answer is no. And in fact, it doesn't pass the sniff test because it's the red states that are having increased hospitalization, which is a metric that actually tells us a lot about what's going on. It's the red states that are having lower mask compliance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this stinks to high heaven. Zooming in a little bit, let me see if I can get a different view here. So this is like a zoom in. So you can see the slope in blue states unchanged when the reporting change happened on July 16th. And then, oh my God, red states are seeing a decline. And as we know, you need 8 to 10 weeks to really see a significant decline. When your slope is this insane, it doesn't just flatten out and go down. We've seen it in New York. We've seen it in other places. What happens is it starts to smooth out. Instead of seeing, a 6.8 slope, it would go down to 5. It would go down to 4. And eventually, you would start to see a decline. So unfortunately, guys, this stinks to absolutely high heaven. I don't know how else to say it, but we now are very, very much dealing with this reality, and we may just not be able to trust the numbers anymore. That's the unfortunate reality. Okay, I have more things to show you. Let me do a couple of super chats. If you're just joining us, we are just supposedly moments from the start of this press event. If you were watching on Twitch, we do have a level 2 hype train going right now. And we have just very powerfully achieved level 3 hype train. And it's wild. It's wild what's happening on Twitch. Over on YouTube, a few super chats. Mart Fillion recognizes that Trump is urgently trying to save his reelection. Absolutely. Lycan Rock Game says, when is the Pacman-Shapiro debate happening? Unclear. I'm not aware of one. Dennis says, I got a poll call this weekend. I'm so happy that I have to get something to do with aggravating this guy a little more in a few days. Okay. Zachary Foster says, Fauci said today he's expecting a vaccine by November, but that other treatments are more likely by next month. I would love to read about that. If anybody has articles on that, please email me because I have not yet seen that. Javi Rodriguez says, I live in North Carolina. The Democratic governor and Democratic Senate candidate are all crushing the polls. I think they may help Biden get over the line here. Yeah, I'm going to have a very detailed report on that tomorrow. Excuse me one moment. I just need to turn on the air conditioning. I have my Nest going here because it is very, very warm right now. Very warm. We've got just a crazy heat wave here in the New England area. 95 degrees outside, but it'll soon be much cooler in the studio. Chris K says he doesn't hear a difference in my microphone except it's quieter. Hopefully we fixed that. Jojo Rice says, if you could go back in time 1 year and talk to yourself, what would you say? I would say get some N95 masks. That would be a big message I would send back to myself. Danny Thompson says, Ivanka is here where I live today, Bloomington, Minnesota, allegedly setting up an office for missing and murdered Native American women. Minnesota Native American leaders knew anything about it, and no one knows the exact location. Scam. Yeah, I haven't even heard about that, but that doesn't sound super good. We are in the middle of a level 3 hype train on Twitch, thanks to Iryman. JP DeBeast already exists. Annie Greenfield, Sally Annette, Boy Meets Minnie, Megahertz Q, and of course our old friend Dranoa, all of whom have been helping out there. Our record on hype trains is 620% level 5. 620 level 5 is the most we've ever had. I do have a few memes to show people. Let me see if I can, hold on, let me start closing out some of these things to get to the memes. I did get memes. Here we go. Okay, so let me see. I'll show you guys what I get sent. It's never, I'm not really choosing like the great stuff or the bad stuff, but I've been sent a bunch of memes recently. This is, I don't even get the reference here, but I guess I have been reminding people about the importance of voting regularly. Wait, none of it matters? Never has. Everyone needs to get out and vote in November. Okay, I don't totally get that one. Some kind of existential event, I guess. I don't even know what this is about. Me, I guess, taking matters into my own hands was the gist. Are these good? I'm not so sure. Best place to send memes is david@davidpakman.com. david@davidpakman.com. Oh, okay. This is my stress level based on what callers do. The base of the pyramid is Tulsi. I'm not bothered when people bring up Tulsi. It just hasn't happened in months. Someone coughing at me at Starbucks. Now, that can't possibly be true because I haven't been to a Starbucks in 15 years. So certainly there's no Starbucks stories here. Thank you, by the way, for the gifted subs. We have moved on to a level 4 hype train at this point, which is insane. Level 3 has been completed. We are on the level 4 hype train. Someone calling in and mentioning Trump, somebody calling in and being anti-Semitic, and then, of course, the top of the pyramid, peak stress, is when someone has a bad phone connection. Yeah, I mean, there's some elements here that are okay, but a lot of these are not super precise, but that's an interesting one. And then I don't even know what TV show this is from. Can someone tell me what this is? Daddy, what was it like in the before times? It's been so long, I don't know. I can't even remember your mother's face. Come on, it's getting late. We need to find somewhere to rest for the night. This will do for now. What did you find, Daddy? What do those words mean? And then it's the meme. It's actually like memeception, where it's someone looking at the meme of me saying the only thing that matters is voting in November. All right. So what show is this? This is from the movie The Road. Okay. Cormac McCarthy's The Road film adaptation. And someone says it's The Walking Dead. Okay, well, all right. Man, I wish I understood the memes better. And then I have just one other thing to play for you guys, which I think you might find funny. The other day, this actually is very, very funny. The other day, I accidentally clapped. I was just talking and my hands clapped together and it sort of startled myself. And Sarah wrote to me saying that her mom was hysterically laughing when I accidentally clapped and that they were watching it over and over again and she couldn't stop laughing. Let me see the right way to display this for you. Hold on. How can we do this? Here we go. All right, let's take a listen to this. Let's hope the audio level is good. Okay, this is me accidentally clapping and Sarah's mom laughing uncontrollably. Okay, now I can tell you guys can't hear that, so let me fix that first. Okay, let's try again. On Twitter at @dpakman. We have a lot of things to go over with you today, so we're keeping this first part of the show a bit shorter. I accidentally clapped there. That was weird. And we will be right back. It was so weird. I've never accidentally clapped before, and it was really, really weird. Let's look at it one more time. Sarah's mom really liking it. On Twitter at @dpakman. We have a lot of things to go over with you today, so we're keeping this first part of the show a bit shorter. I accidentally clapped there. That was weird. All right, so there's that. Some people complaining about my microphone. I see that. We are at 80%, 87% of a level 5 hype train, which is very, very exciting as we stand by for Donald Trump. Scheduled for the bottom of the hour. I do see a lot of complaints about my new microphone. I think we're just going to have to work through it. I don't know. I mean, listen, there's just a lot of different things going on with the mic. I think it sounds okay. Every mic needs to be tweaked. And I do think that it has a little bit less of a harsh overtone, but we're going to keep working on it. Needless to say, we are going to keep working on it very, very much. Let me say thank you to John Dorsey. John Dorsey is new member number 1 today at joinpakman.com. I very much appreciate that. This is not the only live stream today. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, I'm going to be streaming with Chess International Master Levy Rosman. We are continuing my training for the forthcoming PogChamps 2 chess tournament. So that'll be tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Let's see other super chats as they continue to come in. Sunil Matwani says, can you help debunk the whole deaths from COVID not really coming COVID? People to die anyway, other ways of death. Thanks, love the content. So I think what you're getting at, Sunil, is the idea that there's a conspiracy that, oh, wow, we are at 110% level 5 hype. There's a conspiracy that somebody dies of a car accident and then it's being counted as a coronavirus death. And it's not happening. And people often, it looks like we're about to start. People will often try to use that to argue that the number of coronavirus deaths is overstated. The reality is it's likely understated. And, I think we all can tell the difference. Oh, God, Operation Warp Speed. If someone dies of a car accident and they test positive for coronavirus, that really shouldn't be a coronavirus death in terms of what we're talking about. If someone has multiple organ failure because of coronavirus, even though they didn't die of the virus caused the failure, that's a coronavirus death. I think we all essentially understand that. Okay. Per Tiran says, what does Per say? Happy coincident that CDC doesn't get data anymore. What are the odds? Yes, that is exactly what is going on. William Blyseth says, ¿Qué pensás vos del peronismo? ¿Es fascista? I'm not an expert on, 1950s to 70s Argentinian politics. So I am no peronista myself, but, I'm not the one to be giving the history lessons on it. Sam Crow says, David, big fan. Is it possible Trump actually believes America's death count is the best and Biden wants to defund the police, etc., because that's what his aides are feeding him? It's plausible, but I don't think it's particularly likely. I don't think it's super likely. Thanks to Zach Prakowski giving out subs on Twitch like a madman, and we are now at 167%. Here is Donald Trump. I will thank new members using the coupon code July Surprise right after this.
Great to be in this wonderful state. So many friends, so much success, and we love being here. And we're here actually today to discuss the exciting progress that we've achieved under the Operation Warp Speed, our historic initiative to develop, test, manufacture, and deliver a vaccine in record time, and that's what it is, in record time. Likewise, therapeutically, we are very, very advanced. You're hearing about it, and you'll be hearing about it a lot more in the next 2 weeks. We will achieve a victory over the virus by unleashing America's scientific genius, which is what it is. I'm therefore proud to announce that this morning, the Moderna vaccine has officially entered phase 3 already, and that's phase 3 clinical trials, the final stage.
Remember, this isn't news. This was scheduled 6 weeks ago. It's not news.
Of speed, nothing even close. A second vaccine is likely to enter phase 3 in a matter of days. Under Operation Warp Speed, we've shaved years off of the time that it takes to develop a vaccine, in some cases many years, and we've done it while maintaining the FDA gold standard for safety. This is the fastest a vaccine for a novel pathogen has ever gone. It's never gone like this. And if you look at where we are by phase 3, we can say ever gone by far. 4 additional promising candidates are expected to enter final trials in the coming weeks, including the Novavax vaccine being developed right here at this facility. It's an incredible facility. We're going to be making a tour in a little while, very complete tour.
Yeah, Trump's hair is out of focus.
Folks that run it and the people that operate. We've just completed a tour of Fujifilm's Innovation Laboratories, and that's going to be done at much higher level in a few minutes after I'm finished, and I believe we'll take a few questions too, which we're carrying out a crucial biomanufacturing process needed to make the Novavax vaccine. This production is made possible by my administration's $1.6 billion award to Novavax as part of Operation Warp Speed. It lets us deliver the final product in a time that never has been achieved anywhere at any time for anything like this. These same manufacturing processes are being conducted on an even larger scale in College Station, Texas. Today, I'm proud to announce that HHS has just signed a $265 million contract with the Fujifilm Texas A&M Innovation Center, which is quite the place, to dramatically expand their vaccine manufacturing capacity.
This is weird, guys.
I want to thank Fujifilm CEO Martin Meeson for welcoming us today. And
is he not talking about Fujifilm? Like, am I the one who's wrong and he's talking about Fujifilm?
Wonderful to be with you under these circumstances, in particular, with all the progress that's being made, as well as Novavax CEO Stanley Erck. Stanley, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks also to Secretary Alex Azar, who's with us. Senator Thom Tillis, thank you very much.
He's going down in November.
Stand up, Tom. Good job you've done. Thank you very much.
He'll be gone soon.
Representatives Richard Hudson, David Rouser, Mark Walker, Dan Bishop, and Greg Murphy. Thank you. All friends, all warriors. Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest, who I hear is doing a great job. Where's Dan? Stand up, Dan. Great job, Dan. Really good. North Carolina House Speaker Tim Moore. Thank you, Tim. Great job. And President Pro Tem of the North Carolina State Senate, Phil Berger. Thank you, Phil, very much. I appreciate it. Operation Warp Speed is funding a historic portfolio of highly promising vaccine candidates. In addition to our $1.6 billion investment in Novavax, we've issued a $483 million contract with Moderna, a $1.2 billion contract with AstraZeneca, a $465 million contract with Janssen, and just last week, a $1.95 billion agreement with Pfizer. Tremendous progress is being made with all of those
Pfizer, as we
great companies. A groundbreaking agreement with Pfizer includes a guarantee to deliver 100 million doses shortly after the vaccine's approval, almost immediately, with the option to purchase an additional 500 million thereafter. Not only is Operation Warp Speed accelerating the development of a vaccine, we're also directing a colossal industrial mobilization to ensure its rapid delivery. Nothing's happened like this since the end of World War II.
Starting to sweat.
Instead of the usual sequence of vaccine development, testing, and trials, followed by production, our strategy is to conduct these phases simultaneously, so everything goes at one time. We're not waiting and waiting and waiting. It's all going at one time. We have a system that has...
Hey, anyone else noticing a dent to the right of his right eye?
It's going to work and work very well. We're mass producing all of the most promising vaccine candidates in advance so that on the day one that it's approved, it'll be available to the American people immediately, and we'll probably have a lot for a lot of other people throughout the world. The world is suffering from this China virus. Another dimension of Operation Warp Speed is our focus on therapeutics to treat the virus. Over 140 clinical trials are underway, and a number of effective therapies have already been developed and widely delivered, including remdesivir, which is having a tremendous impact. You see that with mortality rates and other things statistically.
It's having an impact.
Dexamethasone, convalescent plasma, and antibody treatments.
I've been waiting for that for months.
Numerous treatments right now that are under study, and I think over the next couple of weeks we may actually have some very positive answers as to that. On July 7th, we announced a $450 million agreement with Regeneron to begin advanced manufacturing of its antibody treatment, which is currently in late-stage clinical trials.
The best about that is it's been months since he mispronounced it, and now he's back to plasma.
In our increased knowledge on how to treat the virus, the mortality rate for patients over the age of 18 is 85% lower than it was in April. Think of that, 85%. And is 25% lower than Europe as a whole. In the middle of April, more than 22% of all deaths in the United States were attributable to the China virus. As of last week, that number has dropped down. As of last week, it's dropped down to under 7%. To decrease the turnaround times for testing, the first two laboratories have been approved to provide pooled testing, very important. In other words, samples from multiple patients are processed together. They're pooled.
Oh.
Now, pool testing will reduce turnaround times by substantially more than 50%. Last week, our Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services began distributing rapid point-of-care diagnostic test instruments to all of the nursing homes in the United States, focusing on the areas of greatest need, which is our elderly and our nursing homes. What we've already sent includes testing instruments to 635 nursing homes for 196,000 rapid point-of-care tests. It's a tremendous amount. You'll get your response and answer from 5 to 15 minutes. Over the next 3 weeks, 1,700 nursing homes will receive an additional 800,000 point-of-care tests. Think of that. The United States has conducted over 52 million tests. That's more than all of Europe put together times 2. Nobody's even close. And as
Out of
countries
context,
go,
no per capita.
it is, as an example, India is up to 11 million tests. We're going to be very shortly at 55 million tests. India has 1.4 billion people. Through our relentless efforts, we've completely rebuilt our
Notice he chooses India, which is a disaster on coronavirus.
depleted and did not refill. The cupboards were bare. I say it often. In total,
Still wrong.
we've now distributed nearly 100 million N95 masks, 35 million surgical masks.
Imagine being president for 3 years with supposed bare cupboards, and then during the 3 years which you do nothing, you then blame the previous guy.
Now building thousands a month, and we're distributing. We have all we need in
Distributing.
our country, but to other countries that are in desperate need. Other countries are having a tremendously difficult time with the virus. Last week, FEMA sent additional personnel, protective equipment to over 15,000 nursing homes, including 643,000 pairs of protective eyewear, 7 million masks, 34 million pairs of gloves, and 6 million gowns. It's
Love
a lot.
the gowns.
Over the weekend, cases in Florida, Texas, and Arizona held steady and are now heading down. In Arizona, they're heading very substantially.
It does appear as though they are now suppressing the data. I'll have a full report tomorrow.
States and are surging them resources when requested. They largely had what they needed, but anything they need, we send them immediately. We are totally full. We have everything we need. We get it to the states immediately. We deal with the governors. The relationship with the governors has
He
been
didn't list how many Schwabs they sent out, though.
goods, but rigorous compliance with guidelines should allow them to turn the corner and very, very quickly. We are working with every governor and health commissioner across the country to bring a complete individualized analysis to each state, as well as tailored recommendations. States are different. My administration is also closely monitoring the surging caseload in Latin America, which is now the region in the world with the most active reported infections.
This is Trump pretending like we have the resources to actually deal with what's going on in other countries when things are completely out of control here.
Cases is also likely to be dramatically undercut or undercounted, and I can say that's probably true throughout the entire world. We report our cases. Most of the world doesn't. They either don't do testing, therefore they have very few cases, even though people are sick, or they just don't report.
That's
And
actually
given
what's
the
happening here.
reality of what we just said, we're focusing aggressively on the Texas border and countries that we think have to be watched very, very carefully, because you have some very, very highly infected countries outside of
This one,
our
primarily.
borders. I've spoken with Governor Abbott, terrific gentleman, and I can report that over 3,300 federal personnel are on the ground in Texas. We've given them a tremendous amount of extra help, including doctors, nurses, frontline people.
They sent plasma
We've supplied Texas with more than 2.5 million gloves, 800,000 goggles, 337,000 surgical gowns, 1.8 million surgical masks, 1.36 million N95 respirators, and 500,000 KN90 masks.
90?
Beginning this week, Texas hospitals will
95, huh?
receive 500 cases of remdesivir, which has proven very effective, enough to treat 3,200 patients. In addition to the cross-border spread, this stage of the pandemic is being fueled by younger Americans who generally have little risk of being seriously harmed by the disease, but can spread the disease. We need all Americans to be conscious about their actions and to exercise extreme vigilance. I trust all Americans.
Imagine the gall after one of the worst 5 responses in the world, to come up and talk about how soon we'll be able to help really infected countries who don't know what they're doing. Like, it's just stunning that this is what's going on. This guy deserves never to work again.
And wear masks when appropriate. We also strongly urge citizens to take extra precautions to shield those at highest risk, which are, in most cases, in many cases, the elderly, especially the elderly with medical problems such as heart or diabetes. But you want to shield them, and you want to guard them, and you want to protect them from the virus, especially those that are really targeted, almost targeted, you could say, by this horrible plague, this horrible epidemic, pandemic. America will develop a vaccine very soon, and we will defeat the virus. We will have it delivered in record time, as our visit here demonstrates. And I want to thank all of the people and representatives from the great state of North Carolina. This is a great place. It's a phenomenal place. And
which you may lose.
We've had so many great meetings and such a great time. I want to drive and tenacity of your representatives and your politicians has been incredible. When they call, I'm there. When they call, most of them, many of them are sitting here right now, I will always answer their call.
Right.
So thank you very much. I appreciate you being here with us. And let's get on to a few questions. Tremendous progress has been made, and it's been made rapidly, and it's been made in areas
Let's hear
that
some nasty questions.
Nothing
here.
like that has taken place before. So please, thank you very much.
Imagine clapping for that.
Thank you.
Lobotomized.
Thank you.
There's been a lot of despair when it comes to the virus. Is today's event about giving Americans hope, a sense of optimism? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I think so, but you know, there would be not that same kind of hope if we weren't doing so well.
Right.
You know, just before I left the White House in the Oval Office, we had a meeting with our doctors, scientists, some others, and they're making tremendous progress with respect to therapeutics. I can tell you therapeutically, I think over the next couple of weeks we'll have some really very good things to say. We're just having great answers. So it is about that, and it's also the vaccine that we discussed today at even greater length is just coming along really well.
Things are going great.
And it's not just one company. It's many companies have had tremendous progress. So that'll be announced over the next very short period. Well, I heard very positive things, but by the end of the year, we think we're in very good shape to be doing that. By the end of this year, we're going to be, in terms of the vaccine, I think in terms of therapeutics, even sooner than that.
Especially
therapeutics,
plasma.
meaning you go and you give somebody, whether it's transfusion or shots or whatever it may be, and they heal,
Shots.
and they heal quickly. So we've had tremendous progress. We already have, if you look at remdesivir, and you look at some of the other things, but we'll have some announcements on that over the next 2 weeks. Yeah, it is hope, but it's only hope because we've gotten such incredible results scientifically. Yeah.
You did talk with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and I wanted to ask if you did bring up the reports of Russia having bounties on our soldiers. And
Beautiful.
We don't talk about what we discussed, but we had plenty of discussion.
Wow. Glad
and
that
I
was
think it was very
reinstated.
productive. Please.
Whatever happened to that story?
Larry Kudlow earlier today said that the V-shaped recovery is showing signs of moderating. Do you think, given what we're seeing with an increase in cases, that the recovery could be in jeopardy at all, the economic recovery?
I don't think so. I think the recovery has been very strong.
Yeah.
We've set record job numbers. We've set record numbers. Whether it's a pure V or a little bit less than that, I think it's going to be very good. If therapeutically we come up with some answers very quickly, which I think we will, then you're going to have a tremendous recovery. Likewise with the vaccines. If you do that by the end of the year, that's ahead of schedule, substantially ahead of schedule, and it's ahead of anything that's ever taken place in terms of vaccines before. So I think if those things happen, if just one of those events happen, you'll go right back into that V, and I think you're probably in the V anyway. I really do believe a lot of the governors should be opening up states that they're not opening, and we'll see what happens with them. But a lot will have to do with the fact that therapeutically, I think you're going to have some great answers. Vaccine-wise, likewise. Yeah, please go ahead in the back.
Zachary Yates from the Raleigh News and Observer. Now that you've canceled the Jacksonville portion of the RNC, do you think Governor Cooper made the right choice in limiting attendance in Charlotte?
Well, we're actually coming to North Carolina, as you know. And we're having a very major, I guess that would be the nomination night. So that's Monday. That'll be Monday. They're going to be here. And the rest we'll do in a different form. We could have done it many different ways. But I think we did the right thing. And I'm really happy that we're going to be having a piece of it, at least, and a very important piece in North Carolina. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Mr. President, your poll numbers suffered in recent months because of your handling on the pandemic. You're here now today. What's your plan going forward to prove to Americans that you're the right person to
I think the poll numbers are very good. The poll numbers we have are very good. We're leading in North Carolina. We're leading in Pennsylvania. We're leading in Arizona. Our
Those
numbers,
are all lies.
We're leading in Arizona. We're leading nicely in Florida. I think our poll numbers are very good. We're leading substantially in Georgia. I mean, we get a lot of suppression polls. We get a lot of fake polls, just like we have fake news. I mean, it's a terrible thing when you look at it. But I had the same thing 4 years ago. I was losing everywhere. I had poll numbers where I wasn't going to win any state, and I ended up winning every one of them.
That's so untrue.
You know, the swing
I mean, that's
states.
just
I wasn't going to win any of them, and I won all of them.
Crazy thing to say.
And I have the same thing this year. This year they have it even closer. They have it closer, but
No,
it's
no,
the
that's
same
not true.
Suppression type polls. We have polls that show me leading in almost every swing state, and substantially in other states by even more than I won in 16. When you look at Florida as an example, you have thousands of boats out of the ocean, out of the
boaters love 'em.
intercoastal. You look at other states where likewise you have thousands of boats, and they're all waving the Trump sign, Trump-Pence sign, and they're so proud. Thousands and thousands. You've seen it.
Oh, my
Where
God.
you have bikers for Trump with lines that are miles long on highways going along on weekends. I think there's more spirit now than there's ever been
Okay.
for my campaign.
I don't mind him saying this because hopefully it'll placate the Trumpists, so they'll be like, he's winning. I don't have to go and vote.
I think there's more today because what we've done, nobody's ever done before. Nobody has ever rebuilt the military, cut taxes the most in our history,
That's a lot.
created the greatest economy we've ever had, cut regulations at a level that
Yeah,
nobody's
voter
ever
suppression,
done.
that's a
And
genius.
all of these different things. The VA, we got VA choice.
That's
We
an
got,
Obama policy.
VA.
Trump's most regularly touted accomplishment is VA choice, which is an Obama policy from 2014.
Just speaking to the secretary, 91% in the VA, that's never happened before. I think when people see all that we've done, even Space Force, we created a force, an actual, you know, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, right? It's pretty amazing. Coast Guard, and now Space Force. That hasn't happened in 75 years. What we've done, working with some of those warriors over there, by the way, but what we've done has never been done. If you look at Alaska with ANWR, one of the perhaps the biggest drilling
ANWR.
site in the world. Even Ronald Reagan and Bush and Clinton, everybody wanted to get it done. I got it done. ANWR in Alaska, probably or
ANWR.
possibly the biggest drilling site in the world. No, what we've done has been incredible. Recently, it looked like the energy business was going to be a catastrophe. We were #1 in the world, and then we had the pandemic, and nobody was using energy. Nobody was driving in automobiles. No gasoline. And by the way, gasoline prices for everyone are very, very low.
What does it mean to be #1 in energy?
That's pretty incredible. And I saved the energy business. I got Russia and I got Saudi Arabia on the phone.
I don't remember the question either.
We're now at $40 and plus a barrel, and we're saving tens of millions of jobs in energy. We're the #1 in energy in the world. So with all that we've done,
Saving tens of millions of energy jobs? That doesn't add up, right, guys? That makes no sense.
had an economy like we had prior to the China plague or China virus coming in. We never had numbers like it. We are going to have them again. And everyone knows I'm going to rebuild it. I had to close it up. We saved millions of lives by closing it. If we didn't close it, you would have seen numbers that would have been
This is a verbal ink blot.
what you have right now. One death is too much, but it would have been 10 to 15 times, maybe more than that, what you have. We closed this greatest economy ever, far bigger than China, better than China. China was having, by the way, the worst year they had in 67 years, tariffs. They paid us tens of billions of dollars.
Remember, our businesses pay the tariffs when we import the stuff from, you guys know.
The best year we've ever had. I had to close it, and now we're reopening it. And next year will be stronger. It'll be the strongest year so far.
Hopefully
It'll be
under a
better
different
even
president.
than last year. Okay, thank you very much. I'll be heading back, and I'll see you back at the White House.
Oh my God, what an absolute! Oh wait,
Tour of the facility with your great leaders. Thank you very much to the people of North Carolina. We love being here. Thank you.
wow, what an absolute disaster! I mean, a verbal ink blot, a complete and total joke. Before people go, by the way, if just a few of the people watching on YouTube hit subscribe, we could get to 900,000 subscribers right now on YouTube. We're only 2,800 away. There's 20K people watching, okay? If before you leave, you can hit that subscribe button, it's free. We could do 900K right now, which is, I mean, that's the last milestone before 1 million, okay? Insane. So please, if you are heading out now because you didn't really want to see me here anyway, please do hit that subscribe button before you head out, and it would be. I mean, we could literally get to 900,000 right now. Okay, I do want to mention that a few people have signed up on my website during this, and I want to make sure everybody gets a thank you. As you know, we're mostly funded by website memberships. The 2 streams today and the podcast and the YouTube clips, you know, all the stuff. JoinPakman.com. Coupon code is right there. 2020 now. We had 1 person sign up before the stream. I do want to say thanks to Wendy Summers, who is new member number 2 today, and Lanice James, who is new member number 3. And that coupon code above my head does save you 2/3. We're not talking about a lot of money. We've, taken some hits due to coronavirus and the financial crisis that is, of course, hitting a lot of people. So if you do like what we do, and honestly, even if you don't, but you think it's important, we do have some supporters who are on the right. Grab a membership at joinpakman.com. You might have missed earlier, I went through in detail the coincidence that the day that the Trump administration said, hey, don't report your cases to the CDC anymore, report them to Trump's HHS, cases immediately flattened, okay? And there is every reason to believe right now that we are starting to simply get false data from the Trump administration. And we had anecdotal reports of it early on. Oh, Florida says they might be suppressing death tolls or whatever. They have now said straight up to hospitals, don't send your data to the CDC, send it to HHS. And lo and behold, that exact same day, we see a flattening of cases. And in particular, the cases have flattened in the red states. I just don't believe it at this point in time. It's possible. Listen, if they're doing this with cases, they will do it with deaths. And as you can see immediately, I believe it's likely Florida currently has 14 to 16,000 new cases a day. They're more around these numbers, and I simply don't believe it. We've not seen any evidence that you can turn the numbers around that quickly. New York couldn't do it with strict guidelines. I just don't believe it. So I think we are now being given complete and total bogus information, plain and simple. Tonight, the next stream tonight is at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be coached. It's going to be a non-political stream. I will be coached by international chess master Levy Rosman, continuing my preparation for PogChamps 2, which is going to be extremely exciting. I want to say thanks to Chantel White, who is new member number 4 today on my website. Also, Tyler Dunishaw is new member number 5 today, which I very much appreciate. I will name everybody else on tonight's stream other than Marie Wetherington, who is new member number 6. Thanks for joining me. If you're an actual audio person, let me know what tweaks I should make to the new microphone, and I'll be back with you in just a few hours.